point, we've done the work up front. So we're ready to engage in the conversation with the other person, solve the problem, come with full candor, and everything will go well, right? Almost. I want to take a quick poll. Raise your hand if you have been in a crucial conversation in the last 6 months. How about multiple crucial conversations in the last 6 months? Raise your hand. Okay, now here's what I want you to do. Keep those hands up. Now drop them if those conversations in your experience usually go well. Yeah, still a lot of hands kind of up there. Now here's the thing. It's not just what we say, but how we say it that matters. And the problem is we often say things in the wrong way. To explore some of those ideas, what I'd like you to do is think about a tough message that you'd like to share recently but haven't. So for example, at one point in my career, I was managing a team in Latin America. I was based in California, and my bosses were in Chicago. Now, we had just undergone some pretty significant changes within our division. We really needed to make these changes so that we could align to where the business was going and make sure we continue to support them. Really significant, really tough for myself and for my team. And what I can tell you about this team is that they were extremely resilient. They worked hard, they worked long hours, they did what it took to keep the wheels on the bus going. Now, a few months into this, one of my top performers, a gentleman who was probably doing about 10 times the volume as some of my smaller countries, I was looking to him as one of my leaders. I got a call from a couple of the bosses in Chicago about him. They told me he was definitely a problem, that I needed to research what the separation policies in that country were and immediately go out there so that I could deal with the problem head on. And my first thought, my immediate reaction is, you're crazy. This is absolutely ridiculous. Not exactly career-building statements. So I kept them in my head. So I want you to think, do you have something like that? A message that may be too sensitive or risky to say in its entirety. Take a couple moments and just kind of craft that in your mind. Now what I'd like you to do is think about what if you said that message to the person without refinement. Full candor, full force. How would it be received? If you think it would be received well, in a couple seconds, I want you to give me a thumbs up. If you think it'd be received poorly, thumbs down, and kind of so-so, thumbs sideways. So if that message was delivered to the person it was intended at, full candor, how would it be received? What do you think? Lots of thumbs down and sideways. Now here's the thing, I'm not surprised. We do this type of assessment all the time. We find ourselves faced with a tough message, something that we wouldn't want coming at us, and we think, how will it go over? And if the answer is, not so well, ooh, yeah, this is gonna be bad, we tend to shy away from it. We tend to talk around it. Or sometimes we don't even share that information at all. What if we could? What if we could share those messages could be heard? What if we could be effective and efficient in solving these problems sooner versus later? Now here's the good news. We can do this. We can get better at this. What it takes is a little bit of effort and combining a handful of skills. You gotta know what those are. So that's what we're gonna go to next. What we're going to talk about is combining a handful of skills to build our proficiency in these types of tough situations, to get better, to get more efficient, to solve problems sooner versus later. How's that sound to y'all? So what we're talking about is a combination of skills. First 3 skills, 3-step process. 3 steps. Put your information out there and gather some of theirs. What if you're missing something? The last 2 is really about your approach. Another quick poll. Raise your hand if you have had the best of intentions and yet things have blown up in your face before. I mean, we've all been there, right? It's not just what you say, but how you say it that matters. What this takes is a balance of confidence and humility. First and foremost, you need to have the confidence to speak up. Just because you're seeing something doesn't necessarily mean the other person is. And if you don't bring it to the table, they may not have a chance to fix it, regardless of if they want to or not. So know that what you have to say adds value. The second piece of this is that humility piece. You don't always have all the information. But that's okay, because sometimes the other person does. So the humility piece is about looking for what you are missing. What is materially relevant information that the other person can bring to the table? It's the idea that before I start solving this problem, what I essentially want to do is make sure we're solving the right problem. And to do that, I need all the information. How do I get the other person's information? What can I do? What do you guys think? And that's what we're talking about here. So let's start to look through this model.